Alcoholic drink Absinthe has a centuries-old reputation as a highly addictive, psychoactive drug. But some say the vilification of absinthe was the work of social conservatives and prohibitionists. Either way, the liquor was banned in the United States for almost 100 years. But now it's back. And as Troy Hayden reports tonight, the drink known as the Green Fairy is flowing in the valley.
What we're doing right now is what the French is called louching. Believe it or not, it's a verb. The opalescence or the cloudiness that you start to see forming inside the absinthe has been coined as the Green Fairy.
Presentation, again, all of that it can be fun, especially if it's your first time doing it and it seems so exotic, and it makes it seem more exotic, but it doesn't actually add anything to the booze itself.
Two very different schools of thought, but it's all about one very distinctive kind of alcohol, absinthe. It was a popular drink in France in the late 19th and early 20th century, especially among artists. Pavle Milic of Digestif in downtown Scottsdale.
The likes of Degas, Van Gogh, Gauguin, Toulouse, Picasso, Wilde, Hemingway, this was their drink of choice. I dare say that this was almost the reefer madness of the day.
Spurred by the temperance movement, absinthe was banned in the U.S. in 1912 after being associated with violent crimes and social disorder. And that legacy as a mysterious, addictive, and mind-altering drink continues to this day.
What I would like to point out is that this is a terribly civilized drink. It's a lovely way to start off dinner. It has certain allure. I mean, I'll admit, anything that at one point in time was illegal has a certain degree of je ne sais quoi, or allure, if you will.
Like his grandfather and father before him, Michael Fine, a fine seller, also in Scottsdale, is in the business of selling alcohol. He says a good story or two doesn't hurt.
As a marketer of alcoholic beverage myself, that's what really helps grow a product. If there is a story, if there is a lore, if there is a personality behind the product, it becomes a little bit more fun.
A big part of that fun when it comes to absinthe is how it's served. At Digestif, Milic immerses himself in the ritual of preparing the drink. He starts with a large jar of ice water on a base with spigots. A shot of absinthe is then poured into a glass, and an ornate, specially designed spoon is placed on top of the glass. A sugar cube is then placed into the spoon, and the water is slowly dripped on top until the sugar is dissolved into the absinthe.
Absinthe is made with the holy trinity of star anise, fennel, and wormwood. The sugar is there because wormwood by nature is quite bitter. So you need a little tiny bit of sugar so it sort of gets rid of the rough edges, if you know what I mean.
During this process, the components of the absinthe that are not water-soluble cloud the drink.
It's part of the show. It's a bit of it's a ritual. You don't have to rush anything. And also, to allow the herbs and botanicals to truly blossom, come out of their timid, tight stage, you need the water. Because by themselves, you're not really going to get all the aromas.
Now let's go about 15 minutes west on Indian School Road into Phoenix to a place called Shady's. Absinthe is once again the subject. But Shady's owner, Brad Henrich, has a slightly different take on how to serve that historic spirit.
I think it's just all about the booze. So the whole presentation to me just seems like a waste of time. And we like to serve it as a martini.
A Shady's Absinthe Martini is made with about a shot of absinthe, a packet of sugar, about 3 to 4 shots of water, and for James Bond fans, it's shaken, not stirred. A Shady's regular gets his first taste of an Absinthe Martini.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'd heard it was kind of bad tasting, but I like it. It's kind of a licorice flavor, kind of like ouzo.
Turning his back on tradition, but with his customers in mind, Henrich has even invented another martini, also with absinthe as the main ingredient.
It's equal parts of 1/3 the Kubler, 1/3 agua, which is liqueur from Holland, which has Bolivian coca leaf extract in it, and 1/3 white rum.
Once again, add a packet of sugar, water, and shake. Pour and strain into a martini glass with a sugared rim. It's Shady's own voodoo corkscrew. Henrich also believes its history is part of absinthe allure.
Because it's something that people have been interested in for a long time, and in movies and books, people have been seeing it and reading about it, and people visit overseas and see it, but they don't get it here, and I think there'll be a decent call for it.
The ban on absinthe here in the U.S. was lifted earlier this year, and now bars and restaurants across the valley are beginning their own traditions with that mysterious spirit.
For me, it's all about having a nice cocktail and being able to drink it.
I love it. I love the drink. I think it's civilized. It's history in a bottle. Cheers to you, gentlemen.
It's also very long. One thing that both Milik and Henrik agree on is that absinthe has to be diluted. I'll tell you. They say it should be cut with at least 4 or 5 ounces of water. Never drink it as a shot.